Hi there, I'm Susan Byer with Audience Audit. This is Fun with Research. Thank you for joining me today. This season we're talking about our agency audit research study with 350 agency owners and senior leaders. If you've been watching along, you know that we found 5 attitudinal segments of agencies in that study, 5 mindsets about how agencies think about their own situation and the world in which they are operating. And 2 of those segments, the thought leaders and the loyalty builders, are doing much better than the other 3 segments. And it's interesting because there aren't a lot of demographic differences between the respondents in those segments or agency characteristics that differ dramatically. These are really mindsets that aren't visible on paper. So the good news is your agency can be in any one of the 5 segments, depending on sort of how you are approaching things and the priority you're putting on various activities. One of the fascinating things we found in the study was there are really 3 strategic approaches that appear to be highly correlated with the agencies that what I call unbeatable. Much more resilient, struggling with fewer challenges, much easier time in the world than the other 3 agencies. And those are agency marketing, client connection, and workforce management. We're going to talk about agency marketing a little bit today because we've got some interesting stuff to show you. Let me switch to my charts here. So building a thought leadership reputation and maintaining that reputation is one of the 3 resilient strategies that was revealed in the research. The segments that are prioritizing this activity are dealing with far fewer challenges and have more optimism about the future than the other 3. So if you look at this chart, these are the percentage of respondents in each segment that strongly agree with, first, my agency has a reputation as a thought leader, and second, my agency is working on developing our thought leadership. And you should see something immediately that stands out. The blue bar at the top, the thought leaders, and the red bar at the bottom, the loyalty builders, are far more likely to have high percentages that say they strongly agree that their agency has a reputation as a thought leader. They are also more likely to strongly agree that they are working on developing their thought leadership. So this isn't a static situation for those 2 agency segments. They have a reputation now, and also they continue to work on it. And that really separates them from the other 3 segments in the study. If we look at the priority which agencies say they are putting on thought leadership, look at the percentage here that says it is the top or high priority for the agency. 85% of the thought leaders, 52% of the loyalty builders, and everybody else is lagging behind. Look at those cobbler's kids at only 17%. So they have a reputation, these 2 segments of agencies, thought leaders and loyalty builders. They are continuing to work on that reputation, and they say that maintaining their thought leadership reputation is one of the top priorities in the agency, which is really powerful and differentiates them from the other segments. They are also much more likely to say that their thought leadership reputation is effective in attracting ideal clients. This is the percentage that said it's extremely or very effective. So they are reporting that the thought leadership reputation that they do have is very effective at bringing in ideal clients for them, which is powerful. And you can see the percentages much lower from the groups that aren't prioritizing this or working on it to the same extent as those 2 segments are. And there's another aspect of this that I think is really interesting. This is the percentage of folks who strongly agree that their agency has a unique positioning or niche that sets them apart, and that their agency has strongly committed to a niche position in their marketing efforts. And I think these 2 slides are really fascinating. First of all, you could see 90% of the thought leaders absolutely agreeing that their agency has a strong niche positioning that sets them apart. And also very, very high percentage in that group that say that they have strongly committed to a niche position in their marketing efforts. So they not only have a niche, they're talking about it. And because they have a thought leadership reputation as well, these two things are going hand in hand. What they are talking about from a agency marketing standpoint involves their niche. So these are things, if you've ever heard Drew McClellan from Agency Management Institute talk about niche, if you've read his book and Stephen Wessner's book called Sell with Authority for Agencies, you know their thought leadership around building a reputation as an expert and having a niche to make that more possible. So for those of us who are maybe in one of these other three segments, who are not prioritizing our own marketing as consistently as we should, and are not prioritizing development of a thought leadership reputation, it means that we need to get on it. It is not the only factor driving success for unbeatable agencies, but it is very important. And we're going to talk about some of the other factors in the next couple of videos. And having a niche for the agencies that are doing this effectively is working very well. And they are getting ideal clients. So think about that in the context of your agency. You can watch other videos to see more information on these segments. And of course, you can go to audienceaudit.com and download the Agency Edge study for yourself, explore the data, see a webinar talking about the results. And also there's a really nice meaty report on the results in there. But we need to start working on this, folks. There are three things we need to be doing, and this first one is a big one. I'm taking a lesson from that, and we're going to talk about the other two in upcoming videos. Thanks for joining me today. We'll talk to you soon on Fun with Research.